122 remote, we'll do less examples of shading and get to that word part earlier and have the word part set us up for shading. But we'll see some of that here in this little review. So we're starting out looking at number 10, and this is part A. And there are 3 sets involved in 1.2, number 10A. And those are students who have a dog, students who have a cat, and students who have an other kind of pet. So if we draw our 3-circle Venn diagram with D, C, and O, the way they were written in the book, there's not really a right or wrong way. You kind of do the first one on the top left, second one on the top right, and third one on the bottom. You don't have to, but I'm following the convention that the book used here on this one for sets D, C, and O. And what number A says is describe the following sets in words and with a diagram, and it's C intersect D. The first thing we're going to look at here is turning that into words. If you have questions, if you struggled with this, please don't hesitate to ask. If it all made sense, then that's fantastic. I might go through these fairly quickly because I'm not really sure how much trouble you had. So as I look over here and I want to put this into words, I see C, well, that's students who have cats. Or I guess have a cat. Students who have a cat, that takes care of the C part. Intersection, that's the overlap. It's the elements that are in both sets. It's the elements that are in C and in D. Students who have a cat and have a dog. So C intersect D in words are students who have a cat and have a dog. In our picture, some of you, after what we did on Tuesday, might look at this and go, well, there's C intersect D. That's region 1 and 5. Fantastic, if you're there. Or excuse me, how about 2 and 5? We better call it 2 and 5. So regions 2 and 5, that's what we end up with in that Venn diagram. If you're not there yet, if it's going to take a little more practice, that's okay. We want C intersect D, so we'll shade set C. And then I want the intersection with set D. So I'll shade D in the other direction. And because it's intersection, I want the overlap. It's just regions 2 and 5. Let me know if you have questions as I go through these. I'm probably going to do them pretty quickly so that we get to our new material relatively soon. 1.2 number 10b says, put this one in words and a diagram. And I think sometimes words can be a little bit difficult. The diagram, you're probably pretty comfortable with at this point, even though that may or may not be true. You can let me know. But still I have D, C, and O, and I forgot my rectangle on the last one. I better put it on there. Okay, so I'm going to put this into words. Well, let's see what I have here in words. Let's see, I have students who have a dog, or union is or a cat. But students who have a dog or a cat, but then the key here is I want the complement of that. So it's students who don't have a dog or a cat. They don't have either one. I can tell you that on the quiz and exam, I'm not going to have you write it out in words, but I do want you to understand that if you're given words like this, you could figure out what the set would be. So you won't have to write it in words. You'll just have to be able to go from words to the diagram. And then here I have D union C complement. Okay, well, D union C is all of this. And then if I want the complement of that, didn't leave myself a ton of space here, but I'll just shade it a different color. The complement of that is going to be everything else. And so what I would end up with for this diagram shaded would really just be down here and out here. And so that would just be regions 7 and 8. That's it. Because it's everything but D union C. And those people don't have a dog or a cat. Some of them have other pets. Some of them don't have any pets. But they don't have a dog or a cat. Here we go from words to symbols and a diagram. This is more the type of question you can expect because I'm not going to ask you to write it in words. Students who have dogs but not cats. We hit this at the very end last time that but is sort of a different way of saying and. Because if you think about this, they have dogs but not cats is really the same sentence as they have dogs and they don't have cats. They have dogs and they don't have cats. Dogs and not cats. And so when I want to put this in symbols, I would say dogs and not cats. Not clues us in that we're going to need to use complement because that's how we say no cats. Cats is C, no cats is C complement. And then if we wanted to draw this in a diagram, D intersect C complement, I'll give myself room to make 2 this time. If you have any questions, let me know. If this all makes perfect sense and you had no problem with number 10, I apologize for spending so much time on it. D intersect C complement. So I'll start with D. It's intersect. So I'm going to shade the other direction. C complement. Everything outside of C. Outside of C. So that's going to be down here. Like that. This was intersection, so I'm looking for the overlap of those 2 sets, and where I have the overlap is here and here. So my answer is just those 2 regions, regions 1 and 4. I won't draw another picture because I think we got it. Okay. I mentioned that we would talk about some of number 10. There are some more problems in there, but I just kind of want to get a sense of how much we should or shouldn't do. That one was part D. My thought was we would do a couple more of them. Okay. Part F says students who have a dog, cat, other pet, and this one is symbols and a diagram. So the instructions are the same as the last one. Come up with symbols and a diagram for. They have other pets, but neither cats nor dogs. So they don't have a cat, they don't have a dog. So once I've made sense of the language of this, I can say they have another pet, but is just like and. So and, let's see, neither cats nor dogs. So they don't have a cat and they don't have a dog. So those would be my symbols for this one. It would be okay to write the symbols for this one a different way and be correct. What you could say is they have other pets and, okay, neither cats nor dogs. So it's kind of like the last one. If I say cat or dog and they don't have that, either of those would be a perfectly acceptable way to write the symbols for this. And you use the parentheses in a case like this. We want to group the cats and dogs together and say that they don't have cats or dogs. So this is a way where you could use parentheses. You don't have to use parentheses because you could write it this way if you want to. Those mean the same thing and they would give you the same picture. But because we wanted to group cats and dogs together, so one thing that's important here is we have to do cats or dogs because they don't have cats, they don't have dogs. So anybody with a cat or a dog, we want to throw them out. And that's how we do that. It takes a little practice to get the symbols from words down. We're going to be heading towards pictures from words primarily. Here we'll draw our diagram for this. And I'll just use the one on the left. Heck, that's a simpler way to do this. So we have O. intersect C complement, so everything outside of C, and so far what I have is just regions 4 and 7. That's the O intersect C complement part. Then what I have to do, and I'll find myself a spot to draw a new picture here, it'll just be little. Then what I need to do is take that, what I have now, hang on a second. There we go. What I have now which is just these two regions shaded. And I want to know where does that intersect D complement. So now I want to shade everything outside of D. And where that intersects is just here in region 7. That's it. If you think about it, they have another pet, but they don't have a cat and they don't have a dog. So they are inside the other pet circle, but we don't want to count anybody who has a dog and we don't want to count anybody who has a cat. So we wind up with just region 7. Some of these can be a little involved. There's no doubt about that. They take a little practice and you just kind of have to think through what it is you're doing. Make sure that you associate and with but, because that'll point you towards intersection. No, always is way too big a word, Courtney. Well, a complement of an original set. Yes, I'll give you that one. If we want to say D complement, C complement, or O complement, yes, but it won't necessarily be shaded in our answer. Because if you look here, this is what we're trying to draw, and the only thing we ended up with shaded was 7. So while 8 may be shaded as a part of one of the complements, it might not be a part of our answer. Let me say it that way. But what you're saying, Courtney, if I wanted to shade a complement, 8's going to be shaded. C, or I guess in this particular case, D complement, C complement, O complement. If I were to shade any one of those by itself, region 8 will be shaded. So yes, just be careful that it might not be a part of your final answer. Yeah, if we have more time to do it, we sure can. Oh, and we haven't got to those yet, Leslie. Those are the last two in that section. The last two parts of number 10, and that's what we'll look at next. We'll go ahead and do both of those, Leslie. G says, same group of sets where we have D, C, and O. And the only thing that's shaded in that picture is region 8. I'm going to put my box around there. The only thing that's shaded in number 10G is region 8. And we're supposed to come up with the symbols for that. This one, well, you could think about words because it's students who don't have pets. That's one way of saying this. They don't have a pet. Because anybody with a dog, anybody with a cat, anybody with another pet. So these students don't have pets. So there's the words part. And now sometimes the words part can help us write the symbols. As I look at this, I see, okay, only the outside is shaded. How could I get there? And basically there's two different ways that I would think you might be able to see. The easier of the two, I think, is to say, well, let me pretend for a minute I wanted the insides of all these circles shaded. If I just want to shade inside the circles, because that's the opposite of what I have. If I just wanted to shade inside the circles, that's the opposite of what I have, and I have a really good tool for getting the opposite. So let's see. If I wanted inside the circles, that would be D, union C, union O. That would shade everything inside the circles. Take a second, think about that. That would shade everything inside the circles. And if instead I want to flip my light switch so that everything inside is unshaded and what's outside becomes shaded, I just want the complement of that. The other way to shade this one, and this might lean into what Courtney was saying earlier, is you could say, all right, they don't have a pet. So what that means is they don't have a dog, and they don't have a cat, and they don't have another kind of pet. That works too. If you were to draw these two pictures, they're exactly the same, and they're the picture we're looking for. I think sometimes look at it from a standpoint as, hey, could I get there using the complement? Because coloring in these circles, that's easy enough. That's D union C union O. And then all I need to do is take the complement and I'll get what's outside. Another way is to think about what the words mean, or think about what the location means. If they're out here, it means they don't have a pet. And if they don't have a pet, I can get to the symbols because they don't have a dog and they don't have a cat and they don't have another kind of pet. Again, I think these are fairly challenging to be able to write the symbols. I want you to see it. I want you to be able to do it. Not going to be a point of emphasis for us. Let's go ahead and look at one more because this is the last part of number 10. We're given a diagram. And I think this one's easier than the last one, actually. And the only thing shaded in that diagram is region 3. What this would mean, sort of in practical terms, is they have a cat, but they don't have anything else. Because that's what region 3 is. They're in the cat circle, but they're not in the dog circle, and they're not in the other circle. That can help us do this too. All I want is this piece shaded. Well, they're in the cat circle, and they're outside the D circle, and they're outside the O circle. They have a cat, and they don't have a dog, and they don't have another kind of pet. And so there's not really a, formulaic way to do this. It's really just sort of thinking about what does this show me and how would I write that with the symbols? I do think powerful words here are the fact that and goes with intersection, and the complement is really important because if they don't have something, that's when we'll use the complement. All right. Let's talk about problem solving with Venn diagrams. Now we'll get into the last topic of 1.2. I can tell you, just to sort of maybe put your mind at ease a little, those last couple of problems we were talking about, those are really hard, not going to be a focal point for us. Also, for most students, what we did on Tuesday, the shading, is more challenging than what we're going to do today. So if the shading was hard for you and you're thinking, oh man, I don't know where this is going next, it's only going to get worse. It's not, I promise. Today is going to be better. And what we do today will help you make sense of what we did on Tuesday. Okay. Problem solving. Here's a 2-set Venn problem. A survey of students in 3 homeroom classes was taken to determine the number of students who were in band and the number who were taking foreign language. So those are the 2 sets that we have here. We have a band circle and we have a foreign language circle. And we have our same regions that we've had before, region 1, region 2, region 3, and region 4. One thing I want you to notice before we start answering any questions, this is why we used the Roman numerals when we were talking about the regions of the diagram, because eventually we were going to get to a place where we're going to have a diagram like this where there are 30 students in region 1, there are 12 students in region 2, 17 in region 3, and 9 in region 4. If we called those regions, 1, 2, 3, and 4, using the numbers we normally write with, it can really get confusing really fast. So our regions, we have Roman numerals, and the number of items in each region will use the normals, the numbers we're used to using. So there's our Venn diagram. And now we're going to answer this question. The key here is don't overthink it. How many students are in band? Anybody want to throw out a number? How many students are in band? Leslie, 42, Moylan, 30. Think about what band means. This B circle right here, that's everybody in the band. Oh, some interesting numbers in there, 35. So let me ask you this. These people are in band. Tell me about these 12 people. What are they doing? Band and foreign language. Perfect word, Courtney. I love it. Those people here are in band and foreign language. So are they in band? They sure are. Don't overthink it. How many are in band? Anybody inside the B circle is in band. So we count the 30, we count the 12. There are 42 that are in band. If you're in the B circle, you're in the band. Next question here says, how many are taking, and if we were going to write that with symbols, in the band is just B. It would be right here if we shaded it. Set B. Second one says, how many are taking foreign language or are in band? Or is a very important word for us. It tells us union. You could write this with symbols if you wanted to. Foreign language or band. How many are taking foreign language or are in band? Interesting. When we first talked about union, if I want to put those two sets together and I join them together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm definitely going to count 1, 2, 4, and 5. Do you want me to count this 3? Yes or no? If I do the union of those two sets, should the 3 be in it? Yes or no? Yes, it should. So when I join two sets together, the elements that are in both sets, they need to be a part of the union. When I join them together, the ones that are in both, they need to be in the union. Very good, Leslie. Perfect. Perfect. So those 12 in the middle that are taking foreign language and band, remember what union means. Remember what or means. What union means, what or means is anybody that is in foreign language or band. They need to be in at least one of the two sets. If they're in at least one of the two sets, I'm going to count them. So anybody who's in band, I'm going to count them. Anybody who's in foreign language, I'm going to count them. Got to be a little bit careful. I don't want to count those people twice. I only want to count them once, but I definitely want to count them. And so I wind up with 30 plus 12 plus 17. We end up with 59 that are in foreign language or band, because or is joining them together. If I was going to shade this, it would be right here. And so I count everybody that's in the shading, the 30 plus the 12 plus the 17. If we want to talk about that more, let me know. But if we're going to join them together, we're going to count everybody in B, we're going to count everybody in F. Be careful not to count them twice. We only want to count them once. And then the last question, how many are taking foreign language but are not in band? Foreign language but not in band. Leslie's got that one with the 17. The 26 is an interesting answer, Courtney. Oh, okay, because foreign language is here, not in band, we throw them out, so the only ones left are the 17. These 9 over here, they're not in band, Problem is, they're not taking foreign language, so we don't want to count them. You're right. If I said how many are not taking band, the answer would be 26. But if it says how many are taking foreign language but are not in band, we need to make sure they're inside this circle and outside of B. If we write that in symbols, foreign language, but, and, not in band. So that's F intersect B complement. If we were to shade it, and I'll just do this quickly, F, and I want that to intersect B complement. B complement is out here and over here, and where those overlap is just region 3, just those 17. They're taking foreign language, but they're not in band. Let's do some more. 50 tables at a restaurant placed orders. 13 ordered appetizers, 41 ordered dinner, and 8 ordered an appetizer and dinner. We're going to want to answer some questions about this, but before we do that, we want to draw our Venn diagram. We're going to use a Venn diagram to answer these questions. So the first thing we want to do is draw our diagram. I'm going to help you with this one, and then I'll turn you loose later to draw them on your own. So here, basically, I need 2 circles because we have appetizers and dinner. So I'll need an appetizer circle and a dinner circle. So there's my diagram with nothing in it. Here is the key, the thing that you need to do to make sure you draw these correctly. We want to make sure we have the right numbers in the regions. The way that you do that is you start in the overlap. Start in the overlap. Generally, what that's going to mean for us is we're going to start at the end of the list of information we've been given and work our way backwards. So 8 ordered an appetizer and dinner. Appetizer and dinner is which region of this diagram? Perfect. Courtney, good. Leslie, Nicole, excellent. Region 2. Moylan, I'm sure you're right there with them. So these 8 people need to go into region 2. I'm just going to keep working backwards through this information I've been given. Then I'm told that 41 ordered dinner. There's a real strong pull to want to drop 41 in here. If I do that, how many people are inside the dinner circle now? $49, and that's too many. I can't put 41 here because I already have 8. I need 41 people inside this dinner circle. I already have 8. So what I need to do is 41 minus 8 and have 33 people over there in region 3. And it's because I want 41 total that ordered dinner. If I say 41 ordered dinner, that's everybody in that circle. So I need 41 total. That's why it's critical to start with the intersection. Let me know if that didn't make sense, because the next thing I'm going to ask you is, all right then, 13 ordered appetizers. So how many go in region 1? Excellent, Leslie. Very good, Nicole. If you're not seeing where those numbers are coming from, good, Emily. If you're not seeing where those numbers are coming from, please let me know. We need 13 in this circle. We already have 8, so we need 5 more. And then don't forget about region 4 out here. We still need to finish that off. I was told that there were 50 tables at the restaurant. So far, I have, I have 5 plus 8 plus 33 on my diagram. So that's 46. So that means there must have been 4 other tables that need to go out here in region 4. They didn't order appetizers, they didn't order dinner, maybe they just came in for coffee, or maybe they came in for dessert. We don't know. We just know they didn't do an appetizer and they didn't do dinner. And so there's our diagram. Now let's use that diagram to answer questions. I'm going to set up a poll for this one and let you answer it. There's our Venn diagram that we just created. We're going to use it to answer this question. How many ordered appetizers or dinner? And this also helps us with the idea of going from words to a diagram. We're doing appetizers or dinner. When we start to be able to identify the regions that points us to, if we needed to draw a Venn diagram that had appetizers or dinner, this helps us get there. You don't have to put this in symbols. Some people like to. Oh, interesting. Did you? Well, we'll see what happens with that when we talk about it, Courtney. Hopefully the numbers. Okay. So this is the same diagram we came up with before, the 5, 8, 33, and 4. Okay, we'll redraw this one then. Let's say you were given this Venn diagram, and now we're just answering this question. How many ordered appetizers or dinner? No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I think you maybe just, if you're struggling with these, you're probably just somehow have it spun around so you're making it harder than it really is. This is typically a day that we sail through it really well. So if you're thinking, gosh, this feels pretty easy, I don't know if I'm doing it right, you're probably doing it right. Okay, we'll go another 15 seconds and then we'll talk through it. Okay, we have agreement, but we're not very strong agreement. So let's go back and take a look here. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw this diagram for us. From these instructions, I'm going to draw the diagram. 50 tables as a restaurant placed order. 13 ordered appetizers, 41 ordered dinner, and 8 ordered an appetizer and dinner. I only have two things. I have appetizers and I have dinners that I care about in this Venn diagram. When I draw my Venn diagram, I'm going to start in the overlap, which is almost always going to be at the end of the instructions. Appetizer and dinner. That would be A intersect D. That's right here. That's region 2. Those 8 people need to go into region 2. I'm going to work backwards because that's kind of how these things tend to go. 41 people ordered dinner, which means in this dinner circle, I need 41 people. If I put 41 here, I have 49. That's too many. That's no good. I already have 8 people in my dinner circle. So in order to get to 41, I'll need to do 41 minus 8, and I put 33 people in region 3 because I need to meet the conditions of this problem. 8 ordered appetizer and dinner. Yep. 41 ordered dinner. Okay, anybody in here ordered dinner? There's 41 of them. We're going to do the same philosophy with the 13 that ordered appetizers. I need 13 in the appetizer circle. I already have 8 in there. I can't put 13 over here because then I've got 21. That's too many. That's no good. I already have 8, so I need 5 more to give me 8 that ordered appetizer and dinner and 13 that ordered appetizers. Finally, I was told there were 50 tables at the restaurant, so I need 50 tables in my diagram. So what I'm going to do is see how many I have so far. That's 5 and 8 and 33. That's 46, which means there are 4 tables that haven't been counted yet. They go out here in region 4 to finish it off, and they didn't order appetizers or dinner. They must have ordered something else. And that's how we got this picture. Now to answer this question, how many ordered appetizers or dinner? If you are really good at shading, you might think appetizers or dinner. Well, appetizers or dinner, that's A Union D, appetizers or dinner. Well, heck, I'm good at shading. I know what I'm going to shade here. A union D is just what I get when I put those together, and that's who I want to count up. You don't have to do it that way, but you can. Others may say appetizers or dinner. Well, appetizers, I want to count everybody in there, or I want to join it with the people who got dinner. I want to count everybody in there. I'll add those up. 5 plus 8 plus 33, that's 13 and 33. 46 people ordered appetizers or dinner. That was our most common answer, which is good. If you put 8, that's not appetizers or dinner. That would be appetizers and dinner. If you put 54, you tried to answer this without thinking of the diagram and said, well, appetizers or dinner. So I'll take the 13 that ordered appetizers and add it to the 41 that ordered dinner and just add those together. The problem with that answer is what you did was you said, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to count up, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to count up everybody who had appetizers and everybody who had dinner. And what goes sideways with that is you've done this. You said, I'm going to count up the 13 people that had appetizers. Then I'm going to count up the 41 people who had dinner. And the problem with doing that is you counted this one twice. And I think that's the reason the diagram is important. If you just use the numbers from the problem, you're going to be wrong because of the overlap. We don't want to count what's in the overlap more than once. Let's try another one. Same Venn diagram. I'll set up a poll for this one too. And this time the question says, how many ordered only appetizers? How many ordered only appetizers? Only is a key word here. Only is an important word. Oh, fast on this one. We'll go another 10 seconds and then talk about it. Okay, now we're rolling. That's great. Very good. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. Only appetizers. Well, what that means, if they only ordered appetizers, they're in the appetizer circle, but they didn't order dinner. So it's just those 5 people in region 1. If you wanted to write this in symbols, you could say they ordered appetizers, but not dinner. So that's appetizers and not dinner. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, that's how that would go. You knew it was coming. We're going to do this with 3 sets, but the philosophy remains the same. A lot of words on here. 52 employees at a company were surveyed. 33 of them exercise regularly. 26 get enough sleep. 23 eat healthy. 17 exercise and get enough sleep. 18 exercise and eat healthy. 15 get enough sleep and eat healthy. And 12 do all 3 things. At first glance, you might be thinking, oh my goodness, there's so much to keep track of. Yes and no. There is a lot to keep track of, but a Venn diagram is going to keep track of it beautifully. And as I read through this, I see that we have exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and eat healthy. And then those things just repeat over and over again. I've got a lot of different intersections here, so that's why there's so many words. And so those are going to be my 3 sets. I'm going to have exercise regularly. I'm going to have get enough sleep. And I'm going to have eat healthy. And so that's going to be my diagram. Now we need to put numbers in. Earlier I said, when you're putting the numbers in the Venn diagram, start in the intersections. When we have a 3-set diagram, we start in the intersection, the overlap of everything. We're going to start right here in region 5 where everything overlaps, which you'll notice that's at the very end of my list of information. 12 people at the company do all 3 things, so 12 goes into region 5. All right, well, I still want to work in the overlaps, the intersections. So I need to fill in regions 2, 4, and 6 in some order next. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm just going to work backwards. And I'm told that 15 get enough sleep and eat healthy. So 15 get enough sleep and eat healthy. So the intersection of S and H, which will be right here, needs to have a total of 15 people in it. Please let me know if you see something that doesn't make sense. 15 people get enough sleep and eat healthy, so that's this, and it needs 15 in it. So this little spot down here needs 15 people, so my question to you is, how many people go into region 6? Outstanding. Very good. Courtney, Moylan, Leslie, Jessica, Emily, perfect. 3 people go into region 6 because I already have 12, and those 3, now I have 15. I'm going to use the same philosophy as I keep working backwards through this. 18 people exercise and eat healthy. So first I have to identify where that is. Exercise and eat healthy, that's over here. I need 18 people total. I already have 12, so 6 more need to go in there. Continuing to work backwards, 17 exercise and get enough sleep. That's going to be here. And there's supposed to be 17 in there. I have 12 so far, so I need 5 more to get to 17. Continuing to work backwards, we've still got a few regions to fill in here. I'm told that 23 eat healthy. Really strong urge at this point to drop a 23 right there, but that would make the number way too big. So far in that circle, when I say that 23 eat healthy, we're saying that 23 people need to be in this circle. So far I have 6 plus 12 plus 3. So far I have 21. So I only need 2 more people in there that go down here. Same idea with the other 2 circles. 26 get enough sleep. So what that means is I need 26 people in this circle. So far, I have 5 plus 12 plus 3. That's 20. I'm supposed to have 26. So then I guess I'm going to need 6 more people in there. 33 exercise regularly. So, and I know I'm saying it over and over again, but I just want to make sure we're good. 33 people in this circle. So far, I have 5 plus 12 plus 6 is 23. I'm supposed to have 33, so I need 10 more in that circle. Don't forget about region 8. 52 employees were surveyed. So far, I have 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 3 plus 2. So far, I have 44 in my diagram. So since 52 were surveyed, 44 in my diagram, there must be 8 people out there. Before we answer those questions on the left, please let me know if you have any questions about what we did to draw that Venn diagram based on the information we were given. All right, let's answer some questions. So the first question says, how many get enough sleep or eat healthy? Or is a very important word. If you like symbols, you can use those to help you here, but you don't have to. how many get enough sleep or eat healthy? So we want to join those sets together. You could think of it as get enough sleep or eat healthy. We're joining those. If you like shading, we're taking the sleep and we're joining it with the eat healthy. Or you can say, well, sleep or eat healthy. So I want to count anybody who gets enough sleep, and I want to join those with anybody who eats healthy. And so I need to add up all those numbers. And that'll be, let's see, 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 3 plus 2 is 34. I'm hopeful you're way ahead of me and had 34 there. If not, and you're not sure where it came from, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll let you try. I won't do a poll, but I'll let you try this one and throw it up there for me. How many exercise and eat healthy, but don't get enough sleep? One thing I will help you with is this. They exercise and they eat healthy, but is really just and they don't get enough sleep. So we're looking for E intersect H intersect S complement. Or you can think of this as just, I'm going to find the people that exercise and eat healthy and throw out the ones that don't get enough sleep. When you have a number there, you can go ahead and type it. No rush, no pressure. We'll just see what you come up with for this one. Okay, we have 18. Not an extremely confident 18, but it's an 18. Let's see if Leslie's right about that. And I don't mind that. Michaela joins her with 18. All right, let's see. So the first part of this, exercise and eat healthy would be exercise. Oh, wait, let me back up. So let's see here. Exercise and eat healthy. That's the overlap of these, right? That's the overlap of those. Exercise and eat healthy. So that is the 6 and the 12. So we're at 18 so far, but they don't get enough sleep. So anybody that gets enough sleep, we need to throw them out. And so all we're left with is the 6 people in region 4. That's it. That's all right, Courtney. We only end up with region 4 here. We started out with, and I'm going to do this with the shading because I think that's why we do shading first, is because it can kind of show E intersect H. That's where those two overlap. So that's those right there. And then we also want to intersect S complement, which is everything outside of S. So the only place they overlap is region 4. The other way to approach this, and honestly, I don't think very many of you will approach this with the shading, but you certainly can. But when you do E intersect H, well, that's going to give you E intersect H is this much. Those are the people that exercise and eat healthy. But they don't get enough sleep. Means anybody who does get enough sleep needs thrown out. And that's how we land with just the 6. I'll walk us through the last one. How many do none of these things? Well, how many do none? That's just the 8 people out there. And you could write that as they don't exercise and they don't get enough sleep and they don't eat healthy. Depends on how you want to write it. If you do none of the things, you have to do this and this and this. So we definitely want to make sure we're intersection. You could write this as, okay, how many do none of these things? So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the people who exercise, join them with the people who sleep, and join them with the people who eat healthy, and then take the complement. So you could write it that way. Most students would probably write it that way if asked, but this way is just fine. Just make sure if you're using union, you're joining everything and then taking the complement at the end. All right. This three-set Venn diagram problem is where we're going to spend most of our remaining time. I'm going to read it. I'm going to give you a chance to draw it, and then I'll post a poll for that first question. I'll draw it before I post the poll, but I want you to have a chance to draw it first. And it says 100 people were surveyed about the types of music they like. 52 of them like rock, 28 like country, 30 like jazz. 10 like rock and country, 5 like rock and jazz, 3 like country and jazz, and 1 likes all three types. All we're doing right now is drawing our Venn diagram. And as I go through there, I've got rock, country, jazz. 100 people were surveyed. I want to give you a couple of minutes to try to put all the numbers in there. And then I'm going to go through and put all the numbers in there. And then we'll do the poll to answer the question on the left. But first, see if you can put the numbers where they go. Okay, I'm going to start working through this to fill in the numbers. If you see something you're not sure of, doesn't make sense, stop me and let me know. We start in the overlap of all the sets, which is the fact that, one person likes all three types of music. So one person goes in region 5. Working backwards, 3 like country and jazz. So I find the intersection of country and jazz. That needs to have 3 people in it. It has 1 so far, so it needs 2 more. 5 like rock and jazz. So where rock and jazz overlap, I need to have a total of 5 people. It has 1 so far, so I need 4 more. 10 like rock and country. So where those two overlap, I need 10 people. I have 1 so far, so that needs 9 more. 30 like jazz. Do not drop a 30 in here because that's too many people. We need 30 in the entire circle. So far, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, so we need 23 more in that circle. 28 like country, so I need 28 in this circle. So far, I have 9, 10, 11, 12, so I need 16 more over here. 52 like rock, so this circle needs 52 in it. So far, it has 9, 10, 14. 52 minus 14, that means 38 more need to go in region 1. We don't want to forget about region 8 out here. 100 people were surveyed, so I just want to see how many people I have in my diagram so far, and that's 38 plus 9 plus 16 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 23. I have 93 on there so far, so 7 more need to go out there in region 8 to get to the 100 that were surveyed. Now I'm going to set up a poll for how many like rock or jazz. Be patient, be careful. Think about what the word or means. How many people like rock or jazz? We'll go another 10 seconds and then talk about this one. Okay, looks like we've got a 6 in there, we've got a 4 in there, so we're kind of split on this. We don't have strong agreement. Okay, well, let's think about what the word or means. The word or, which operation does the word or go with? Let's do that first. Union. Very good, Zochel. Very good, Leslie. Or goes with union. So really what I've got here, if I were to write it out, how many people like rock or jazz? I'm just joining those two sets together. If you like rock, we're going to count you. If you like jazz, we're going to count you. That's how or works. If you're in at least one of those sets, we count you. So we're going to count anybody who likes rock. We're going to join that with anybody who likes jazz. And so the ones we're going to count are 38, 9, 4, 1, 2, 23. We're going to add all those up. 38 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 23 is 77. Most common answer there throughout the 9, the 1, and the 2. If the question had said, how many like rock or jazz but not country, you could do that. But that's not what the question said. It said rock or jazz. If you like rock, we're going to count you. If you like jazz, we're going to count you. Some of those people happen to like country also. Okay, that's fine. We're counting the people who like rock or jazz. We're counting all of them. So it's those 77 people. Try a couple more questions with this same Venn diagram. So we have the same Venn diagram. We already have it drawn with our rock and our country and our jazz. And this question says, how many like country or jazz, but not rock? So those of you who looked at the last one as saying, but not country, even though it didn't, this time it says country or jazz, but not rock. I'll set up a poll for this. What you're seeing here is exactly the type of question you can expect to see on a quiz or an exam related to a three-set Venn diagram problem. Is we're given a whole bunch of information. We take that information and we put it into a Venn diagram, and then we use that Venn diagram to answer questions. The key really with these is just being able to identify the regions that represent the set that you're looking for. Those of you who really like shading, who really got good at it, can take these words, rewrite them as symbols, and shade it, and then you know what you're looking for. But I also think that works both ways. I think this can help you be better at the shading. When you see, country or jazz and not rock, okay, what would that look like shaded? Well, it would look like exactly the regions we're going to count in this diagram. We'll go another 15 seconds and then talk about this one. Let's see. Okay, not unanimous, but pretty close. I think what's going on is as we do more of these, we're starting to get the hang of it, which is great. So if you wanted to, but you don't have to, you could say country or jazz, but not rock. And so if you wanted to shade this diagram, that would show you exactly what it is we want to count up here. The other way to go is, well, country or jazz. Country or jazz, so that's all of this. I want to count country or jazz. I'm just joining those sets together. So I want to count anybody who's in the country circle, anybody who's in the jazz circle. There's country or jazz. Then it has that last little qualifier that says, but not rock. So anybody who likes rock, I want to throw them out. Anybody that's in this rock circle, I need to throw them out. And that's how we end up with 16 plus 2 plus 23. 41 people that were surveyed, like country or jazz, but not rock. That went great. As you do these, you kind of get the hang of what it is we're looking for. One more. I'm pretty sure this one will be relatively easy, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How many like only country? I'll set up a poll. I probably don't need a poll for this one, but I'm going to set it up anyway. We'll go another 10 seconds for this one. Not unanimous, but pretty close. That's good. So let's see. The key here is the word only. If a question said how many like country, we'd need to add up everybody in that circle. But it says only country, which means they like country and nothing else. So we have to throw out anybody who likes rock, throw out anybody who likes jazz, and we're left with just the 16. So only country is very specific to region 3. One more type of problem I want to look at. This is a little bit different. It doesn't read very challenging at first, and then it kind of gets there, but we'll talk through it together. 46 people who owned a best-selling book were surveyed. Only 2 versions of the book are available. 37 owned the paperback, 22 owned an electronic version. How many owned both? How many owned the electronic? Okay, I got it. Venn diagram question. There's a paperback and there's an electronic. So I need 2 circles. Paperback, electronic. There's my diagram. Okay, when I fill in the Venn diagram, I start in the overlap. So I go through here and I'm looking for, well, what I'm looking for is the people who own both. It's 37 own paperback and 22 own. In fact, the first question is how many own both? I wasn't told how many own both. I'm not sure what to put here. All right, well, with that in mind, let me see what I do have here. 46 people go on the diagram. 37 on the paperback. So let's just throw 37 in the paperback circle and then 22 on the electronic. So if I put 22 in the electronic, well, hang on a minute. As I look at this, I can see right now there are 59 people on my diagram. 59 people in the diagram, but only 46 people were surveyed. Well, that's a problem. What that means is the people in here have been counted twice. What we did when we said there's 37 in the paperback circle and there's 22 in the electronic circle, the people in region 2 have been counted twice. And so instead of 46 people in my diagram, I have 59. So when I look at my diagram, I see there's 59 people in there. When I look at my information, the 37 and 22, that's 59 people, but only 46 were surveyed. So what I need to do is I only want to count them once. I don't want to count them twice. So I need to subtract, and then I'll figure out how many people were counted twice. And the people that were counted twice, those are the people that go into region 2. Now I can finish my diagram and answer whatever questions you want. 22 on the electronic version, well, there's already 13 in there, so I'll need 9 more. 37 on the paperback version, there's already 13 in there, so we'll need whatever 37 minus 13 is. 24 more. And there's not going to be anybody outside the circles because the only people we talk to own the book. 46 people who own the book, so there's not going to be anybody outside the circles. Now we can answer those questions. How many owned both versions? Well, that was what we did all that work to find out. The number that owned the both versions is 13. That was the first thing we did, was figure out how many go in region 2. And then my question to you, last question of the day, how many owned only the electronic version? 9. Very good. So Stephanie Moylan, you're exactly right. It's these 9 right here that they own the electronic version, but they don't own the paperback. So it's just those 9 people in region